Well, folks, I'd get on here and tell you, quit chasing your tail. What I mean by that is, you watch this same old bullshit all the time. Oh, get these 8 items, get these 5 items, get these 20 items, get them before they're gone, get them where you can. Oh, blah blah. Oh, this guy's falling. They just happen to know what items to get. They have some crystal ball and insider information. You got to get out and get those items. Get them where you can. Hurry. More fear bullshit is what it is. So there's nothing wrong with prepping, nothing wrong with having some extra stuff, but don't fall into this fear bullshit. You know, there's a few things you need. Okay, there's just some things you need in life to keep you alive: water, food, shelter. Okay, and you're doing all right. But don't fall into their huge trap. Okay. Hey, if you're the only guy on the block and you got a solar system or you got a generator and you got lights, you're a target. Okay. If you're out back cooking on your grill and everybody's smelling steaks and hot dogs or whatever else, you're a target. All right. I mean, hell, if people just sell smoke and see smoke coming from your backyard or fireplace, you're probably a target. You want to keep a low key if shit hits the fan. A low key. That's what you want. So, people, don't fall for their bullshit. All right? Nothing wrong with buying some MREs too. I mean that's not bad. You get the whole thing right there. You usually get a heater with it. You know, add some water or whatever, and it not a bad way to go. You do away with a lot of the shopping that way. You just go on, look around, buy a case of MREs, or just pick out individual ones and order them. Hey, if you like, buy the ones where you have to, maybe heat up some water and then dump it in there and rehydrate it. So, but then again, you're gonna have some way of heating the water. There's ways to do it. Uh, they make sun heaters. You put the water in. It looks like uh, oh, what the hell are those things? Uh, yeah, you put your thermos. They look like a thermos. They're so long, usually black, and you open them up, and got a couple mirrors on the sides. Usually, aim it towards the sun. The water heats up, and guess what? You got hot water, no smoke, no fuel, pretty slick, and they're usually around $70. Not a bad investment. I mean, hell, if you go camping or anything like that, pretty nice. I mean, there's a lot of times I've taken things and just put it right on the tractor engine and make sure it's in some kind of aluminum foil or some kind of thing like that and secure it to the engine somewhere and hell, just the heat from the engine cooks it or warms it up. you know but you know like I said, there's a lot of ways to do things, but don't get caught up in the panic. These people are out there. All they're trying to do is click, 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 click. And people. That's how they make their money. I mean, the best things you could possibly get, and you already know it. Like canned goods. I mean, most of your canned goods will last a long time if stored properly. I mean, I wouldn't suggest. I mean, if you have a hot climate, I wouldn't suggest putting them out in the garage. or somewhere where it's warm. I mean, put them in a cooler place. Basement. If you don't have a basement, go outside and dig a damn hole in the ground and maybe take your cooler and stuff your cooler down in the hole and put your canned goods in there and then just throw a tarp over it or a pillow or something and the ground will help keep it, but not in the sun, in the shade, and that'll help keep things cool. You don't want to cook it already in the can, so you want to keep it cool. Have 3 or 4 coolers. I don't care. Go to the garage sales. There's a lot of times you can pick up coolers just dirt cheap, and sometimes you will go out there and hell, they got it. It's like, well, yeah, we're just closing up, and yeah, you want it? Yeah, take it, get it out of here. We're gonna throw it away anyways. You know, I mean, do you actually need? You go buy a uh, uh, plastic Rubbermaid tote with a lid. Go buy a trash can. Something. Fit a big trash can. You just put it in the ground and put your stuff in it. Put the lid on it. Cover the lid with, like I said, something that's insulating, something that doesn't allow, the sun and the heat to get in. Best place, put it in a shaded spot. If not, make it a shaded spot. Put something up, a piece of plywood. It doesn't matter, just something so the sun doesn't beat on it. And then the ground itself will keep it cool. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to do things, but don't fall into the hype. Don't fall into the, like you feel you're being pressured into things because these people know something. Most of them don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. I mean, you got more sense than 99% of these people. I mean, and a lot of times too, your canned goods, especially you get, I don't know, watch the ads. You get, I don't know, 4 cans for a couple bucks or whatever. You know what a good deal is, and make sure you get a can opener. If you don't have the ones that have the little pop top, those you got to be a little more careful with and not drop something on them. You could break the seal. They're little. You got to be a little more careful with those. But yeah, don't fall into the hype. But yeah, canned goods when you break it all down are probably your best bet. But yeah, MREs, freeze dried stuff. If you go online, find some stuff on sale. Order a case. And same thing. You don't want to store it in heat. You want to keep it cool in a cool spot. The basement's a good spot if your basement's cool. Uh, yeah, because a lot of it's protected. Those have a protective, usually a plastic sheathing or envelope type thing. It's sealed, so water usually won't bother it, or mold won't bother it, and things like that. So they're a good bet. Same thing though. You could take those and bury it out in the yard in a cooler or a tote or whatever. Just something you can make sure the lid closes and snaps. So hopefully you don't end up with insects or I mean, canned goods is not going to affect them anyways. But some things it might, rodents, so on and so forth. So, and wherever you store your food, it doesn't matter where. It's always good to go buy some rodent killer stuff. The little pellets or the little bars or whatever, and put it around these places. So, not necessarily right by your food, but in spots. So you can see if you got them because they'll be nibbling on the things or eating the things, and you'll see it. And plus, that'll keep them eating that and maybe out of your food stash. So, I, I should put together something, but like I said, you people are right up on all this stuff. So, I'll leave it at that. But the most important thing you can do, the most important thing you can do, is thank God. Thank Him for the good and the bad. Sometimes the bad you don't like it, but it's a learning opportunity, and that's a lot of times what He's trying to get through to you. It's like, hey, don't do this or do it this way, not that. You learn things. So, and ask Him for His wisdom and protection. But don't. What I'm getting at is don't always just rely on your preps. Don't rely on what you can see. Don't rely on what you can feel and all that stuff. You gotta have faith. You gotta trust. And the biggest thing you gotta do too, one of the biggest things is keep happiness and joy in your life. Don't let this get you down. Don't let this go, oh my God, I gotta rush out. That's what these people are doing to you. They're causing you a lot of undue stress. Thinking you gotta rush out and do this, you gotta do this, oh you gotta get this before blah blah blah, you gotta do all these things. Don't don't. Be happy. And that's God's spirit. That's God's divine intervention coming through and giving you peace. Doesn't matter. You're right with God, you do the right things, and your works, you don't run around and do bad things to people, you don't do evil for evil. And you do good works. You help people you could help. And even then, you got to be cautious of things. But don't let the devil win, because that's what the devil tries to do. He tries to poison your brain with things. And a lot of these people, I don't I believe they try and think they're doing something good, but don't worry. God's got your back. God knows what you need before you know it. God knows what you're going to need in tomorrow or 2 weeks or a year from now. God's going to know what you need well before you do. So keep your spirits up. Don't let the devil get in. Because then you become short, fused, and you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be like the next guy. Something just triggers him. It just goes wacko. You don't want that. You want to be able to just kind of just let it brush off. It's like it's good. Who cares? That's keep the joy and the love in your heart. That's all I got to say right now. Hopefully it'll take you a long ways. Well, and if you don't have a lot of money, go into your pantries, churches and county and so on and so forth, and just get what you can. Some's better than none. So, well, with that said, y'all take care.